the nicest country club within an hour drive. Try to get in the gate. If you can't get in the gate, go to a little bit less nice country club where you can get in the gate and go to the parking lot. And there's going to be a bunch in the South. There's going to be a bunch of F-150s in the parking lot on Tuesday morning. Go there on Tuesday morning and see who the first guy comes in. And when he's walking to the clubhouse, ask him what he does. The next guy comes in, ask him what he does. Next guy, ask him what he does. And you're going to have, at the end of the day, you're going to notice that there are a ton of real estate guys. There's a fair share of entrepreneurs and business owners. There's retired doctors. There's no working doctors at the location at the country club on Tuesday morning. There's no working attorneys that are at the country club on Tuesday morning. There's a lot of insurance people. They sell house insurance, home insurance, life insurance, whatever. And there's a ton of wealth managers. And there's a lot of salespeople. That's the pattern that you'll notice. There's entrepreneurs, small business owners, retired doctors, retired lawyers. And then there's salespeople, insurance agents. What was the last one that I said? Forgot. Sales, insurance, and wealth management. Wealth management. So like, very simple approach is like, just do one of those.
Yeah.
The odds are good that you'll be, 35 years old and be able to play golf on a Tuesday. And if you can play golf on a Tuesday, that means you can do whatever you want. You can hang out with your kids. You can, basically find a job where you work for a finite number of years and you can get paid forever.
My friend had a boat right off his dock on Tampa Bay. And he's like, I'm the only guy ever on my boat. Everyone else, I have never seen them get their boat off the dock because they're at work. And it's like, what kind of life is that? You bought this great house, spent all this money to have this great thing, but then you have no time. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that. How do you get time? And, you make the point of getting leverage. And that's such a huge difference in life. Like my dad has no leverage in his career. He spent time in a factory and he's not replicating himself. He's not replicating that effort. So you talk about opportunity, skills, people. These are the ways to gain leverage. Like, where do people start with this?
So if you have, my question back is always the same. It's like, do you have capital or do you know people with capital? Money. Because it is way easier to do business with money. You know this, I know this, but the new entrepreneurs don't know this, that having cash is a massive advantage. Even if it's just enough cash or equivalent of cash, like live in your parents' basement without having, $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month of expenses that you got to pay. And kids, wife, house, whatever it is. So my first question is always that, like, do you have money? So Seth, do you want to start with the people who have no money or the people who do have a little bit of money and some skill?
Yeah, I want to start where it's easiest.
So if you have no money, like most of us, like I grew up, my dad worked a job. He didn't own any assets. He didn't own any equity in his business. He didn't own any rental properties. So like we were upper middle class because my dad did really well working a job, but nobody had money to like invest in me, or I couldn't go start a real estate private equity company. I didn't go, work at a country club. I couldn't go start a moonshot business where I could raise $20 million. So I traded my time for money. And this is the stuff that nobody's going to want to hear. There's going to be a lot of people who turn off this podcast and close my book when I tell them that, hey, there's no easy way to do this.